Welcome back to another video here from Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. Today I'm gonna talk about 5 not so good things about living in Ho Chi Minh City. Maybe you saw my last video where I made a list of 5 good things about living in Ho Chi Minh City, but I'm thinking we can be a little bit realistic. We don't have to be overly positive all the time. So I'm gonna go through 5 not so good things about living in Ho Chi Minh City. So let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so number 1 on the list, it's very personal for me, and this is one of the main reasons I don't think I can stay in Ho Chi Minh City forever. Okay, so the first thing on the list is little to no access to nature. Okay, so the access to nature in Ho Chi Minh City is very limited. So for example, you have parks around the city, small parks, but they are not really parks in my opinion, because it's basically just trees with some concrete around it. This part here is also included in the lack of nature. Walk properly here, you can see the sidewalks, they are like really bad quality. I don't know if you can see on the video here guys, but I'm walking in District 1 here and it's even dangerous. I mean, I've seen people trip and fall and stuff like that. So this is not isolated to this street here guys, the Nguyễn Thị Minh Khai, but it's basically anywhere. So you can see the road, the sidewalk is just completely uneven. So one thing is that you cannot really escape all the traffic and pollution and go to like a greener area in the city. It's very hard, so you have to go out from the city. And that's another thing about number 1 on the list guys, no nature or no access to nature, is because all around the city there's basically no nature. There's no green area. You have to go really far to even get to any kind of place that resembles nature. So I checked on a map, for example guys, and you have to drive basically 2 hours to the east to even get to any place that you can call nature. So that's one of the things that I would consider personally the worst things about living in this city, for example, because if you like nature, you will have a hard time living here, because you basically have no access to nature. And I come from Europe, where we have parks everywhere. Alright guys, this is the biggest park in the central Ho Chi Minh City. It's called Tao Dan Park, and I'm just gonna show you quickly what the biggest park looks like here guys. So you can see there's a lot of trees. This is the open area. There's not that much open area here, but it's a decent park I guess, but this is the closest thing to nature or a park in Ho Chi Minh City. So yes, technically it's a park, and why I say it's not a good park is because yes, this is an open area, but this is it guys, and the grass, it's not grass, it's just like leaves, and you cannot really sit here guys. So you actually just have to walk on the concrete or sit on the benches, but of course it's better than nothing. But I just want to highlight that if you are used to a city with a lot of really nice parks, like I lived in Taipei before, or any European city, then this is going to be a disappointment here. So if you like nature, you're not gonna want to stay in Ho Chi Minh City long term. Okay guys, number 2 on the list is expensive Western food and groceries. So if you are from France, if you're a cheese-eating Frenchie, or you're from Italy and you really like your food and you come and live here, it's going to be really expensive for you guys, because first of all, the access, it's not that easy to access high quality Western food, but once you find it, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, so there's one shop that I go to sometimes, it's called Annam Gourmet, and they sell cheese and all kind of stuff, but it's gonna be really high price guys. So sometimes you buy just a pack of pasta, it's gonna be like double the price from Europe, for example, and the cheese, it's gonna be really expensive. So and I like many kinds of food, but I also like European food, and I love to cook Italian food, so I have to use the traditional Parmigiano Reggiano and the pecorino, and for example the French cheese like Gruyere, then it's gonna cost you a lot of money. So you have to be a little bit, you know, you cannot use as much as normal. But yeah, so that's number 2 on the list guys. It's a little bit expensive with Western food and Western groceries. guys, number 3 on the list is also a very important thing for me personally. It's air pollution and the quality of air. All right, so for example, now we're in the middle of the rainy season, which helps to clean the air. So when the rain falls, it helps to clean the air, which is very nice. But during the dry season, the air quality can be very bad here, guys. So that's actually a real concern, because obviously you want to breathe fresh air, right? So you want to stay healthy and stuff like that, guys. So that's why I wouldn't say it's a very healthy place to live in, at least half of the year when it's the dry season. So that's one thing, guys. And you can use the app Air Visual. I've talked about this app before, guys, but I can just check quickly right now the level. So for example, right now, guys, as you can see here, we press here, it's 57, which is moderate, which is not that bad actually. But of course you want lower. But during the dry season, sometimes it's 140, 150 and stuff like that. So that's a concern for me personally. The quality of the air is not that good. You have a lot of cars driving behind me, you have a lot of bikes, a lot of fumes and stuff like that, guys. So I would say that's number 3 on the list of not so good things about living in Ho Chi Minh City, the quality of air and the pollution. Here we have the beautiful background, we have the flag up there as well, guys. So number 4 on the list, it's not connected to me personally. It doesn't affect me personally, at least not now, but I still wanna put it on the list because I did some research and I thought this might be a thing that's not so good about living in Ho Chi Minh City, okay? So number 4 on the list is expensive international schools. So I did some research, guys, and I found the prices to be really, really high. And maybe I'm biased, guys, because I'm from Scandinavia. And if you didn't know, in Scandinavia, like the school is basically free. So that's one thing here that I found, guys, that I was really shocked about the price. Maybe it's normal in other countries, but I was really surprised actually, because I checked one school, I think it was called International School of Ho Chi Minh City. And if you want to put your kid through that school, through grade 1 to grade 12, it's actually going to cost you about $300,000, okay? Yes, it's over 12 years, but it's going to be very expensive, right? So that's like 300K just in the tuition fee, and then you have many other fees on top of that. And I noticed that the higher the grade, the more expensive per year. The annual cost is higher. So if you move here, for example, and you put your kid in that school only through grade 11 and 12, it's going to cost you about 800 mil per year. So it's like 1.6 billion for 2 years. So yes, it's not related to me personally, but I thought it could be a good thing to put it on the list of not so good things about living here, because I think that's really expensive. So that's number 4 on the list, guys. Expensive international schools for foreigners. Okay, guys, so the last thing on the list is number 5, and that's that it's hard to find quality stuff in general. And what I mean with that is just like goods in general, like hardware and like furniture, for example. It's very hard to find like good quality for a low price. You know, maybe I'm biased again because I'm from the land of IKEA, you know. So I can just go to IKEA and you can buy good quality stuff for affordable price. But here I noticed that it's very hard to find just, for example, a rack where you can put your dishes, when you wash your dishes. I paid like $20, no, not $20, like $15, $10 for like a really bad quality aluminium imported Chinese thing. And it's basically the same price as IKEA, but it's way worse quality. So that's the thing here that I noticed. Like if you want to buy stuff, like especially furniture, I noticed that it's really expensive, or the quality is very low. So I cannot give many examples, but just in general, if you live here, you will know what I mean. Like if you want to buy like just like wood and hardware and stuff like that. So that's a thing that might be a little bit problematic. But it's understandable as well, because it's still a developing country, you know what I mean? So before, I mean, imagine if you lived here like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it would be even harder to buy stuff. So now it's a little bit easier, but it's still not that easy to buy hardware and just like furniture. But yeah guys, that's actually the list for today, those 5 things. And I would love to hear from you guys what you think. If you live here or if you have been here, what are your thoughts about not so good things about living in this city? I would love to hear your thoughts, because this list can of course be longer, but I'm keeping it to 5 things today. Like the last video, I also kept to 5 things but about the good things, but you can of course extend that list way further. But yeah, that's the list for today guys. So I really hope to see you guys in the next video, and thank you guys for watching, and take care. All right.